guys! So as I mentioned on Monday night as I was doing this, I have just a little bit of styling left to do for the app. And originally I wanted to do it yesterday, but I actually spent the whole day yesterday practicing my talk for the conference, so I didn't have time to do this. So I just finished up all my packing and chores, and I have until the lift comes in 40 minutes to finish styling this project. So yeah, so the two things I wanted to do to style it was to, I think, move this add category part down to down below the weeks, and then also style this input box. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is to make that little black circle, style that to be a delete icon. So those two things, and hopefully I'll get it done in 35 to 40 minutes really quick. Okay, so first things first, this icon. So the first thing I want to do, oh my god, Philippe, hi, thank you so much for joining. Woo, impromptu. Yeah, I guess because you can join in Europe at this time. Awesome. Okay, so first things first, this input, I want to move this down, let's say below the header. And then I think what I'm going to do is actually, instead of having add category, I'm going to just give a placeholder text that says add category, so that it takes up less room. Cool. And then now let me start. I think what I want to do is, so actually now I don't need this div anymore. I shouldn't. And what I'm gonna do is start styling the input, and I think there's some people are like, you should do this in the separate CSS file, and some people are like, oh, you can just directly do it in the React component. I don't have a strong opinion on this one, and so for ease, I kind of like having the styling be in the same file as where my DOM element is, so I can refer to it really quickly. So I usually end up just putting it in the component JavaScript file. Yeah, so let's see. I want it to, let's give it, so I need to know how big I've made these texts. So I made those font size 14, so let's give that same. I want the input here to match the styling of these categories. So font size 14, and then I wanted the text to align center, and let's see, so and I'm going to say use the style that I'm defining. Oops, this should be that should be in quotations, and then okay, so, and I need to say display, I guess in this case I'll make it display block. I don't need it to be inline block, and then let me give it some padding. Ooh, hi! Oh my gosh! Okay, it's Toxic Cutie. Thank you so much for following. And then, so padding, let me give it, usually I like giving it maybe 2 pixels above and 5 pixels wide. And for that matter, let's give you a width of, I think, actually, let me just give you an all across 5 pixel padding and a width of maybe 200 would be nice, and then margin auto. so that you can see right now the input box is to the left, so Margin Auto just puts it in the middle for me. And then, hi! Hi Robert, thanks for joining. And then I'm so glad that you and Philippe can join right now. But it's kind of a short one today. I have like 30 more minutes before I have to go to the airport. And it's Toxic Cutie. Hi. Thank you. Okay, cool. Okay, so now I have it in the middle, and which means that I need to now change the. Oh, okay. So yesterday, or no, on Monday, I finished this interaction, which I'm very proud of, which is I type in the name of the category, and as soon as I hit enter, that category thing on the back, it goes and yeah, does that. I'm very proud of it, and you can delete it. So okay, some other things I want to do. I actually wanted to make the background transparent so that yes, and then the color, so that I can see the category circle in the background as I'm typing. And then I also want to make the font the same color as the rest of the rest of these. So color is I think I defined it in here. And then I also really don't like, so I also really don't like the inset that's happening. So I was gonna say border none, and then I think I wanted to give it just a border bottom of, let's say, 1 pixel solid, and give it that same color as the font. Oh, okay, that didn't work out. Why? No border bottom, border known, border bottom. Oh, it's because that color is RGB. Okay, so I don't need this hash. Okay. Cool. Okay. And then I just need to, in categories, nudge that down a little bit. So the position of this, I define in my categories component under the function calculate data. And what I do is I just push the this object into this thing called this.categories, which is an array of those categories. And then I would say I'm just gonna push that down by like maybe, I'm eyeballing this. Okay, so maybe I want to do 120. Let me start with 120. And then in the meanwhile, so this is the only thing that I realized that I needed to do in an actual CSS file, which is let me give that input a class name or ID. Let me give it an ID is add category. And so here's add category, and when add category focuses, is it cool? So it is focused. Awesome. And then I want to do the same thing where I pushed it down too far. So maybe let me see this circle, maybe I can move it. So here's there we go. So here's my positioning, how I'm positioning the circle. So let me just try 100 to see where that goes. Oops, why didn't that work? Oh, okay, I know why. It's because the force simulation, the D3 force simulation is still running, so then it's just like updating it to 100 every single time. Okay. Oh, that looks pretty good, huh? That looks pretty good. So then I can smooth. Okay, this makes me very happy. So the last thing I want to do to style that is I want to just, so this blue outline, I kind of want to either just make it on the bottom, or I want to just change the, yeah, I think I want to make it just the bottom, but I'm not sure, is that, I forgot to look this up. So is that a, what is that called, the blue outline? So input, so HTML input focus border, yeah. So, ooh, how to remove a border. You know what I'm wondering as I do this? Like, is there any impact on accessibility as I'm like removing the styling? There shouldn't be, right? Although to be fair, I suppose with visualization itself, accessibility is hard to start with. Oh, so I can just do, so it seems like, okay, so blue border around it. In general, to do, you can just do outline none. Is that's what it seems like. So let me try that. Let me try outline none and see what happens. And then in that case, I think what I'm gonna, cool. Okay, so that seems to work. And then let me give some sort of other indication that is focusing then. Or rather, I wonder if it's outline, if I can just remove the side and top outlines. So that should be, let's see, CSS outline MDN. Oh, I haven't had proper breakfast yet. My stomach just grumbled. I would need to like dash and like get something at the airport or something. It's been a bit of a hectic morning. So can I do like outline left and outline, let me try that. Is there such a thing as outline left? Really? Is there? Huh, okay, well let me just try here. So like outline left none, outline, I don't think there is. Outline top none. Let's try that. Nope, okay, there is no such thing as that. So outline none, and I think I'm just gonna do border bottom, and then I'm gonna make that 2 pixels solid. And let's see. No? I can't make it 2 pixels solid? Okay, thanks for joining, Philippe. Nom 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 nom. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. I wonder why that is, that I can't do the border bottom. Okay. I think, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go with this for now. And then I'm gonna make, ooh, my stomach is in revolt. Okay, so I think this is what I'm going with. Pretty happy with this, to be honest. I'm pretty happy with this. Okay, and let's, I actually want to bring the header down a tiny little bit. Feel like, oh, I guess I can, actually, let me do, let me give a top margin of like 20 pixels for the entire thing, entire application, and then auto on the sides. Wait, why didn't that work? So 20 pixels. Oh. Are the things just not? Maybe try padding? So 20 pixels and then 0 on the sides. Impotent says add the color. So I thought it was that if I do a border bottom or like border and then I do like if I just give the pixel and the styling, and then if I leave the last one blank, I thought it would just assume the color that's already on it. But okay, let me give that a try. UX, yeah, okay. So this, the UX Atom also says that it's toxic cuties. I said I needed coffee. I honestly haven't gotten up to go get some. I hope that's because maybe this is interesting. If it is, that'd be cool. Okay, so that honestly had, I'm just gonna give this, you know what, I'm gonna stop trying to mess with the header. I'm gonna try one last thing with the border, bottom, 2 pixels solid. What color should I give it? So I actually have this thing, I actually have a color palette that I use that I made like a while ago, and then I just pick random colors from this. So let me try this blue. Nope. Yeah, so this time I put in the color and still no. I wonder why that is. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna move on from that, and then so let's see, it's this one. So here's all my changes. I changed the input and then I nudged down the category a little bit. So this is style category input form, and then let's see. Okay, so then there was something really quick I wanted to do in categories, which is that if you notice, it's supposed to be that when I hit escape, it like defaults it back and then like deletes that category I was starting to make. But then I want the same thing to happen when the user clicks out of it, as in like focuses out, like blurs out. So I'm doing that in categories, and so currently, wait, hold on. Am I doing it in? Oh, I'm doing it in app.js. And so what I want to do is put in a clear category, and so instead of, so I'm gonna copy, so this was the part of the code that takes care of like clearing everything when I hit escape. I'm gonna put this in here. And then this.clear category, pass in the event. So that way now I can also put in an on blur event in this input box and call this.clear category, and that should work. So let's see, parking, that works. Oops, what happened? Oh, because I need to bind. So for each of the functions that is an event callback, I need to bind this to the component. It's Toxic QT says, what are some packages you suggest for Atom? Just started using it recently and fell in love with it as my main app to develop in. So I actually use absolutely no packages, and I need to, and I actually like it just fine with no packages. It kind of just meets all of my needs like as is. I know that for the first stream I did, someone suggested a few different packages for Atom, and I haven't had the chance to go back and look into the ones that he suggested, but if I can, I'll try and dig into my chat history and see what they were, and then maybe I can suggest that next time. And then Invitin, looking for themes or useful tools. And then It's Toxic QT says both. Okay, so I'll read that the rest of that chat out in a bit. Vanessa OOPC 00PC, hello. Okay, so now did that work? Parking, and then cool. Focus out now works. And let me. Okay, so that was clear category on blur of input element. Commit to master, sync. And then the last thing I want to do is make that little black circle that appears into a delete button. So that would be in categories. And then I'm going to also push you down a little bit, maybe push you down to 160. And then, so I had just downloaded somewhere in here, oops, okay, oh, there we go. So this is the delete icon I just downloaded from the Noun project. And then let me go and drag it over to this project. And then I usually save it in, so this is how my project is arranged, and then I usually save it in source under images, put it, and then I'm going to rename that to delete.svg. Oh, cool, thank you, Invitin. So he says, as theme, I'm using Bliss UI, which I find very simple. Atom Material UI is also really cool. Okay, and then I'm gonna get that delete icon. Where else do I use delete icon as a variable? Okay, I think I'm okay. So delete icon from so categories is in the visualization directory, so get out of that into images, and then excuse me, and then I called it delete, or delete icon, delete.svg, and that should give me the correct URL. And then this is the part where I create the delete icon. So instead of appending circle, now I want to append, I think, image. So I don't use SVG image often enough to have it to remember off the top of my head like what attributes I need. So let's see. So I need the X position, specific attributes, Y position. Oh, I need a width and height. And I need, okay, so the width, let's call it width, and .adder height is delete icon radius, and I need, and then let me, for now, display it right off the bat, and then I also need it to give a href, which should just be the, oh, you know what, I think I might call this delete icon source, because this is basically the URL for it. And then, oh, Invitin also says, as step packages, I use some linters for JS, like linter ESLint. You have also all the autocomplete packages, like autocomplete module, autocomplete Angular React, etc. You have some snippets package, which adds the same kind of functionality that you can find on JetBrains called Live Template. Thank you so much, Invitant. Okay, so, woohoo! Okay, which means, that actually, so this should be 2 times delete icon radius, and then I want to be minus a delete icon radius, and minus a delete icon radius so that I can center around my X and Y. Oh, that's kind of big. Let me make you a little bit smaller. But I think I like the position of that. Cool. Okay, so maybe that's a little too small. Whoa, UX Adam says, I just discovered input mono font for personal use. Just Google input mono packages. I love for Atom include Emmet, multi-cursor, linters, Atom beautify, minimap, pigments, pin tabs, open recent, and word count. And then Inviton says, for example, I'm a React Native dev, so I have the package React Native snippets, which creates me a React component just by typing. Okay, so almost there. And I want to say fill. I want to use the my colors that I passed in. And then did that work? So if I load it just as image, then I can't apply the fill on it. Does that mean I need to be able to do it with like an iframe or something to like affect what the fill of the image should be? SVG image fill. Or are they strokes actually? Actually, now that I think about it, they might be fill or strokes. Nope. I think I'm just gonna leave it as is for now. Okay, now let's see. And then you know what? So this part is the code for dragging. So dragging these categories over that to delete. And I think what I'm gonna do is instead of the area. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna just use the categories radius. As like kind of the area that I can drag over it. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep that as is. Cool, so I've put in the drag, or sorry, the delete icon, add in delete icon. Vanessa 00PC says, I like the sound of the keyboard. Thank you. It's a mechanical keyboard. It's very satisfying to type with. Okay. So I have a few more minutes. So I wanted to take the opportunity to like figure out why the hell does it like do that? Because it's really like dragging this around is perfectly fine, or maybe it like has a little bit of a, yeah, maybe it has like a little bit of a flicker, but then like dragging this like really flickers. So the first thing I'm gonna try is I'm gonna just try and see, I'm just gonna try and see what happens if I make the radius of the thing smaller. So maybe I'll just make it like the same as the icon size, which is drag icon, delete icon radius, and then so on drag start do that, and on drag end then put it back to what it used to be. So let's see if that affects anything. Oh, because when I'm doing the tick, where's my tick function? Force tick, I guess I should also say, but you know what, now I think about it, that really shouldn't affect things. The radius shouldn't affect anything. So I wonder why this is. The radius shouldn't affect the position of, yeah, it shouldn't affect the calculation of the positions of these things. So is it just, so all for target, so simulation 0.3, and then velocity decay. Does anyone have any idea of why this might be? It's so odd. Because, what can I try? So let's see if I can just change, if I can just not have some of those. No, but it still jitters. I just realized, so when I'm doing this, when I'm doing the dragging, I'm setting fx and fy, which are the fixed positions. UX Adam says, when you click to grab, what's defining the point where it's being grabbed? Okay, so I am using d3.event.x and d3.event.y, which I think is what D3 calculates for me. That's like, now that I think about it, I wonder if it's actually giving me so, and it's Toxic QT says, I'm just starting a journey into JavaScript, doing free code camp right now, since most of what I learned in web dev was like 30 years ago. Oh, my lift is being called. Okay, so I think, UX Adam, I think you're right. I think it has something to do with the event.x and event.y that I'm being given. And I wonder if, yeah, so because that's how I'm setting the fixed positions. Oh, my ride is arriving in 8 minutes. Okay, in a Toyota Prius. So I think you're definitely, but at the same time, oh, I just realized something. Well, no. So sometimes dragging is really a pain because I have to calculate the XY positions of my mouse position relative to like the parent container relative to the window. But D3 should be taking care of that for me. And then if we take a look at here where I'm using the exact same like method, it seems to be giving me the right X and Y. So very, very odd. Yeah, so I don't do anything special here. Thank you, it's Toxic QT. Yes, hopefully a safe trip. Okay, so I guess that is the my what's the word? Signal to wrap this up. Okay, I will look more into this. But in the meanwhile, I'm super happy that I got this working. these two things working before my talk tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. So thank you so much for joining. Bye bye.